Hello everyone, this is Grace. It is October the 5th, 2023, and we are continuing our study on the tithe. We're looking at vows in this book. This is Leviticus 27, and it starts off speaking to the children of Israel and saying to them, when a man shall make a singular vow, the persons shall be for the Lord by thy estimation. And it goes on to speak about the people, and then it goes on into the animals. And if it be a beast whereof men bring an offering unto the Lord, all that any man giveth of such unto the Lord shall be holy. Now, flag this is untrue, because if I would have left this as true, that everything that's given unto the Lord is holy, then the word holy would become null and void by the time we reach the 12th sentence, the 12th verse. I'll show you, we'll read on and I'll explain what I mean when we get there. He shall not alter it nor change it, a good for a bad, or a bad for a good. And if he shall change the beast for beast, then it and the exchange thereof shall be holy. Still, they're using the word holy, and they're saying that you cannot change it. Remember this. You cannot change it. It shall not change at all. Beast for beast. Good for bad. Maybe they're saying that he cannot change it for another animal. I don't know, but they're going to tell you can change it in a minute. And if it be any unclean beast which they do not offer a sacrifice unto the Lord, then he shall present the beast before the priest. And the priest shall value it, whether it be good or bad, as thou valuest it, who art the priest. So shall it be. Doesn't have to make sense, because they just made it all up anyway. And the priest shall value it, whether it be good or bad, as thou valuest it, who are the priest, so shall it be. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. So they are going to assign a value to this beast which cannot be changed. They are going to say, they are going to make it unholy by valuing it. And because what are you valuing it for unless you're going to sell it? What's the point of doing this? So holy really becomes meaningless. What's the difference between a holy beast and an unholy beast? You're doing the exact same thing with it. It's not just going on the altar and being burned. It's not just being eaten by the priest. You've assigned a value to it. Thou shalt valuest who art the priest, so shall it be. I can't remember if this is true, but I think somewhere it said this unclean beast, you just kill it. If they make a vow and they give you a beast and it's unclean, maybe if they can't burn it on the altar, they just kill it rather than sell it. It's not real, so they don't give you any explanation. You're just supposed to fill in the blanks yourself. But when you read it, it doesn't make sense. Any of these sentences by itself with explanation could be true. These sentences packed together becomes a mess. How are you going to say the beast is holy? The beast is holy. It's so holy it can't be changed. If you change it, it's still holy, and the beast that you changed it with becomes holy. And then you say, well, you can assign a value to it here. If it's an unclean beast, it's not. We don't really want to make this. How easy would it have been to say, if it be a clean beast to the Lord is holy. If it be a clean beast, you shall not change it. If it is a clean beast, you do this. They did that with unclean beast. How can you not do it? How can you put unclean here and not have the forethought to put clean up here? It's not real. They don't care. They don't care because they have a built-in insurance policy that we're automatically supposed to believe, no matter how much and how confusing it is. We're just supposed to make sense out of it. It's not real. This isn't accurate, as most of this chapter is going to turn out to be. Confusion. But if he will at all redeem it, then he shall add a fifth part thereof unto the estimation. I'm going to have to pause this because I did not put the scriptures in here to contest this, and I'm going to do that now. I'm going to pause you and add some scriptures to this study. Hold on. Did you guys miss me? It took me a really long time to do that. Just kidding. Okay, let's look at some of the scriptures. Oh, let's read this first. But if he will at all redeem it, then he shall add a fifth part thereof unto thy estimation. So if he redeems it, first they're going to assign the value. But if he redeems it, it's still holy. It's still holy. So what does holy mean? What does holy mean if he can just redeem it? It doesn't mean anything. It just makes it another word on a sheet of paper. Or on a computer screen, in our case. But let's look at some of the things that the Bible has to say about lending on usury. Take thou no usury of him, or increase, but fear thy God, that thy brother may live with thee. Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase. And I put a bunch of them in here, so I'm going to read through them fairly quickly. If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as a user, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother, usury of money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury. Then I consulted with myself, and I rebuked the nobles and the rulers, and said unto them, Ye exact usury, every one of his brothers. And I set a great assembly against them. He that putteth not out his money to usury, nor taketh reward against the innocent, he that doeth these things shall never be moved. He that by usury and unjust gain increases his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. There's also another scripture that says the wealth of the rich is laid up for the poor, something like that. If in thee have they taken gifts to shed blood, thou hast taken usury and increase, and thou hast greedily gained of thy neighbors by extortion, and hast forgotten me, saith the Lord God. Can you imagine usury put in here between shedding blood and extortioners? But still, we're perfectly comfortable with seeing it here in the temple of God. It's not real. It is certainly not true. This is the greed of the people. This is the greed that you see today that makes you want to change the Bible. You can't change tithing. It's in here. It's a blessing for you. You're cheating yourself because of the wickedness of others. And I'm not even saying that all of them are wicked. Some of them, I don't believe all of them are wicked. There are television evangelists in the Adventist church. They're doing good. They're doing good. Some of them are doing good. The Adventist church takes and I'm not trying to endorse the Adventist church. I don't even go there anymore. Okay, I'm just not. But that's the church that I went to. That's the church that the Lord chose to teach me. That's my home, basically. I just don't belong to them anymore. I've just grown out of that. They don't teach what I teach anymore, okay? But they take a very middle ground approach. They teach you the truth, and then they leave you and the Holy Spirit to just do it. That's just what they do. And when a man shall sanctify, and that's the only people that I have to draw on. That's why I'm using them as opposed to others. That's who I have to draw on. And when a man shall sanctify his house to be holy unto the Lord, then the priest shall estimate it, whether it be good or bad. The priest shall estimate it, so shall it stand. This doesn't really have anything to do with the tithe. I highlighted these with errors, and I just read through it. So I'm not even saying that it's false. It's probably true, but they did tamper with it. What they'll do is they'll cut and paste scriptures and put them here, and they'll put the truth there, And that's what they obviously did here, unless it isn't true, by the way. Because here they're talking to the priest. The priest shall estimate it. And then here they're talking about the priest. Here they're talking to the priest. Here they're talking about the priest. And then they're talking to the priest. It's just a big old jumble. They just threw things together. You can't talk about the priest and then talk to the priest in the next sentence without some sort of change. It becomes nonsensical. In the structure of these sentences, and I'm not saying that they're not true. It makes sense. And I just read through it. It just makes sense, okay? Until you get to of thy estimation. Here, I'll read you this part. But if he sanctify his field after the Jubilee, then the priest shall reckon unto him the money according to the years that remain, even unto the years of the Jubilee, and it shall be abated from thy estimation. And if he that sanctifieth the field will in any wise redeem it, then he shall add the fifth. So now the person is the other party, and he shall add the fifth part of the money of thy estimation unto it, and it shall be assured to him. So now, of thy estimation, the priest is now the person that's being spoken to. But up here, it's just, maybe it isn't true, because we know for sure this isn't true. You're not adding the fifth part. I can tell you that. That didn't happen. Anyway, so we're going to skip all of this, but I did read through it and I highlighted it where it changed the first person, where it changed the person that was being spoken to. Again, the priest shall, and then the priest is the estimator, thine estimation. It's just nonsense. It's just really, it's horrible what they've done. It's just horrible. And they had some sort of particular grievance about the tithe and giving money to the church. They either wanted more, and they wanted more in some places, and they wanted less in some places. It was just a matter of making things hard for you in some places. It just didn't make. It didn't even. There was no real goal for it other than to just add more confusion into the Bible. Only the firstling of the beast, which should be the Lord's firstling. No man shall sanctify it, whether it be ox or sheep, it is the Lord's. And if it be an unclean beast, then he shall redeem. Hold on a moment. I have this highlighted. Only the firstling of the beast, which should be the Lord's? No, it is. Either it is or it isn't. Ain't no should be the Lord's. You could put should be given to the Lord. I'm not sure what they were thinking when they put this in here. This is not biblical talk. You're not going to say something should be the Lord's, should be given to the Lord. Yes. Or something like that. But no, it is the Lord's. This is clearly wrong. I probably should have checked the interpretation on this. Now that I think about it, this is so wrong that, to be honest with you, I probably am wrong, because I doubt if it's set like this, because it's just too wrong. I'm not going to do that now. You can do that. Just keep in mind that this is probably right, that I probably made the mistake on this, and that they interpreted it wrong. I can't see them making this kind of mistake. And if it be an unclean beast, then he shall redeem it according to thine estimation. Again, thy estimation. And it should be... them in there... Okay, they're talking to the person who's supposed to be given the beast here. And now, again, they're talking to the priest. And if it be an unclean beast, then he shall redeem it according to thine estimation, and shall add a fifth part of it thereto. Or if it be not redeemed, then it shall be sold according to thy estimation. Well, that's good, because I thought for sure I read somewhere they said kill the beast. So at least you sell it. Notwithstanding, the fifth part, of course, is wrong. Notwithstanding no devoted thing. This right here, anytime you see this word, you can just toss out the sentence. Just toss it out as a lie. This is a cursed thing. That word is their own little word. They just changed the meaning of it. Let's look at some of the ways that it's used. Accursed 4 times. Curse 4 times. Destroyed once, destruction twice, devoted 3 times. Can you imagine? It's a devoted thing here, but it's an accursed thing there. A net or a snare 5 times, nets 3 times, thing. This is probably going to be devoted thing or something like that. Oh, that's where our word is, devoted, right here. So yeah. So this is going to vary. I don't know what this is. And then upon. Anyway, this is just, you can just tell right now this is not right. But let's read through it. Notwithstanding, no devoted thing that a man shall devote unto the Lord, of all that he hath, both of man and beast, and of field, of his possession shall be sold or redeemed. Every devoted thing is most holy unto the Lord. Every accursed thing is most holy unto the Lord. None devoted which shall be devoted of men. None cursed which shall be cursed of men shall be redeemed, but shall surely be put to death. They did say put it to death. I thought I read that somewhere. So if you make a vow to give something to the priest, when do you kill it and when do you sell it? Because it just said to sell it up here. Oh, that's right. It was contradicting itself. That was another thing I found. I forgot. The verses contradict themselves. It's so crazy. Anyway, can you imagine if you donate a couple of horses or donkeys or something to the church and they take out a gun and shoot it on the spot and say thank you? I'm not sure what let's keep going. And all the tithe of the land, whether of the seed or of the land or of the fruit of the tree, is the Lord's. It is holy unto the Lord. I couldn't find any problems with that, believe it or not. I expected to, given that this whole section right here was messed up, but no. Well, it follows their pattern. This is the usual pattern when they'll put in the lies and they'll put in some truth, and they'll put in the lie and they'll put in some truth. And if a man will at all redeem aught of his tithe, he shall add thereto the 5th part thereof. That greed just takes over them in the end every time. And oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to comment that, but it's just, the wicked just be doing wicked stuff. Just be wicked. And concerning the tithe of the herd of the flock, even of whatsoever passes under the rod, the 10th shall be holy unto the Lord. I do believe that that is accurate. People say the tithe give first. I don't believe that that is true. You get the first of the first, like the first fruit, and that is fine. But if you have 9 of something, the 10th is the Lord's. It's not the first. If you have 9 pennies, you have 9 pennies, that's yours. The 10th is the Lord's. If I come across something different, I don't mind correcting myself. But I didn't come across anything in this study that said that the first was the Lord's, other than the first fruits. That's it. If you get 9 of something, you got 9. If you get 10, the 10th goes to God. He shall not search whether it be good or bad, neither shall he change it. And if he change it at all, then both it and the change thereof shall be holy. It shall not be redeemed. That should have been highlighted. These are the commandments which the Lord commanded Moses for the children of Israel in Mount Sinai. Whatever you decide with this, because I do believe this is real, but it is surrounded by lies. So I understand if you don't. But if you do, whatever you do, just go with what you believe, and then you don't have to feel guilty about it. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do the 10th, don't keep 9 pennies and then feel bad because you don't have a 10th to give God. Just give the first. When I would tithe, a lot of people say that it says you only tithe on your increase. I tithe before taxes, before everything. Because I didn't want to be wrong. One, I didn't want to be wrong. 2, Sometimes I get stuff that I can't tithe. I get food, I'll get a gift, I'll get something like that, and I'll just live my life like normal, so that I don't have to feel guilty all the time. I know that I'm giving what I have. I know that. And if I get something as a gift, then if I remember to tithe, then I'll tithe. But if I don't remember, then I don't have to beat myself up about it, because I'm giving, well, I never really thought of it as giving more, but I guess I am giving more. But I don't ever want to have to beat myself up about a tithe. And I don't think I ever have in my entire life. When I get my check, I give. If I have money, extra money or something like that I get, and I remember to tithe on it, then I give. If I don't remember, then I just don't remember. Tithing is not a curse. I might do that video. No, you know what? We're going to get to it. It's in Malachi. When we talk about Malachi, that's when we're going to show that it's actually not a curse. It's a blessing. We've already looked at the scriptures that showed it's a blessing to give. But it doesn't curse you. It doesn't curse you. So, whatever you decide, do that and don't feel guilty about it. Just go with what the Spirit teaches you. I personally believe that this is accurate. You have 9 and the 10th is the Lord, excluding the first fruits, of course. All right, I will leave that at that, and I will talk to you more in the next video.